Ta-da! Hello everyone. So today we are talking Achtung, Cthulhu Tactics. We've got lead designer Adam Carter-Groves with us, and so basically what we're going to do, we have got a brand new teaser trailer to show ahead of the Steam page going live. We've got a bunch of awesome new screenshots, which will hopefully demonstrate how far along the game has come since the last time we streamed. And then Adam is going to talk you through the tutorial level 1 of the game, basically, yep. And yeah, kind of talk about the mechanics of the game, how it's all going to work, and basically start showing it off, which is very exciting. So what we'll do initially is get started with the trailer. So, why don't we have desktop audio?
We do each other anything.
Okay. So, I'm going to go in with...
War rages on across Europe. Fascists crush all hope beneath their evil jackboots, shattering the lives of millions. Heroes must rise and claim victory at all costs. Because while the Nazis terrorize these lands, they are not the darkest foe we face.
So, yes, that is the new teaser trailer, which is going to be up on our Steam page very shortly. We'll obviously notify everyone when that goes live. You can follow us on twitter.com/Auroch Digital, facebook.com/Auroch Digital, and we're also available on aurochdigital.com. So yeah, check that out, and we'll have lots more to show very, very soon. So Adam, I'll let you talk about the screenshots that we've got up on the screen now.
Yep. So these are from the close to finished art style. We've got a few iterations beyond this, but one of the things with this setup at the moment is it looks very open and very nice and bright, and the game is not going to be like that. We've got a system which you'll see when I run the demo, which is the fog of war system, but we've got a little bit extra depth to it. So this nice bright scene of people shooting each other will suddenly become all close and oppressive and feeling like awful. It's going to be great.
Yeah, very much a theme of this is the light and dark. So
it was the light and dark. It is now the shroud.
Ooh, the shroud.
Because
sounds exciting, doesn't it?
Light and dark was a little bit confusing, just because it was we were putting in lighting. So why does this light give off light but not look like it in the fog of war system? So it's now the shroud.
Okay. So yeah, we're now referring to that system as the shroud. But thematically, yeah. So it's kind of the light of you kind of walk around, and well, I mean we'll obviously show a bit more of this as we go through the demo level that we've got, but yeah, the enemies kind of operate in darkness, and that the darkness is their ally, kind of thing, and there's various combat bonuses and that kind of thing when you illuminate them. Right? Yeah,
cool. It's all about lighting them up, watching them scatter like cockroaches, and dealing with them rather than them sniping you from the darkness.
Cool. So yeah, we've got a couple more screenshots to show here. Oh, okay, we're having a little trouble hearing us apparently, so turn ourselves up a little bit. Let us know if that's any better audio-wise.
Yeah, so we're now cycling through some of the different environments we've got. There's basically two core sections. One is the forest scenes where your specialists have dropped in and they're working their way through the forest, dealing with Nazi patrols. And the second one is the bunker, which is a Nazi fortification that they've dug down into the side of a cliff and is full of sort of mechanical stuff and barracks and all the different stuff you'll need to run a war, basically.
Excellent. So yeah, for anyone who isn't aware, Achtung, Cthulhu Tactics will just give you a little bit of kind of context about the game. So it was based on a tabletop RPG by Modiphius, and basically it's World War II, but the Nazis are backed by the Cthulhu kind of mythos.
Yeah, it's
scary stuff.
The links into the whole sort of actual stuff that was going on with mysticism and so on, but them going, oh no, it's actually real, and there's elder gods, and there's monsters, and they're using them to secretly try and win the war. But the Allies have their own forces who are trying to counter them. they have Section M, and the Americans have Majestic, who are the counterpoint to them, who are mostly trying to stop the Nazis from bringing these terrible tools of war to bear.
Excellent. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave Adam to play through the demo level, but I will be answering your questions in the chat, etc. So if you have any feedback or any questions that you want to know about the game, so PC Ferret there, asking a couple of questions, I will get back to you in just a minute. But we will get Adam set up now with the game. So, just want to... so yeah, we've got our pre-alpha tag here. So everything that you're seeing at the moment is very much kind of early development, but it's coming along a massive way. If anyone tuned in to a previous stream that we did a couple of months ago, you'll hopefully see quite how far along we've come. So we're just going to add some game volume in here.
Yep.
Return to the game. Back, and then return to the game. And then I will leave this up to Adam. And yeah, I'll be responding to your comments in the chat. So yeah, thanks very much everyone for joining us. And yeah, I'll leave it up to you, Adam. Cool. Thank you very much.
Cool. So here we have the first level. We're running through the basic tutorial of how the game works. This will be the first level you see. It's nice and short, but covers all of the core mechanics that you'll need to play the game. Here we have our two characters. We've got Captain Eric Badger Harris, who's a commando specialist. He has his own commando team that he has come with him. And we have Sergeant Carter, an American sort of GI, really just... He's a very gruff soldier, very American, but he's got some special talents that you'll explore as you go through the game. At the moment, we're in what's called exploration mode. Normally, you have AP for each character, and you would spend that to do things like run around and shoot and activate special abilities and that kind of stuff. But instead, at the moment, we are in exploration mode. There are no threats, there's no enemies, and it would be really awkward to have to move everyone specially step by step. So instead, it's just click and move like you're exploring a role-playing game. This means you've got make it really easy to explore around and find things in the levels and get more idea of what's going on in the world. As an example, down here we have an interaction point where there's going to be in the final version a dead body of one of the soldiers that was ambushed here, where you can look at them and try and work out what happened at the start and why, because in the background a load of people dropped in to try and attack this base, and all of them were killed apart from you. So this is looking around and having a look at a body. This is a build from a couple of weeks ago, I think. So there's a few bugs in here that we fixed now. One of them is there's animation tweaks and stuff. We've got a second part of that going through nice and easy. So if there's any slight stuff like that, that's just because we're not quite finished with this current build. So everything's fine, we're exploring around, we've got a nice outline of where we can go, and we walk around a corner, and suddenly, Nazis. So, in this build, we haven't got the AI in yet. That's just gone in. We're doing another build soon, and we'll hopefully be able to stream that one as well to show you it more in a closer to finished state. So I will be pretending to be a Nazi in this one and running these lot through their paces. So currently we are fighting the Nachtwolf. These guys, they're lovely. They want to hurt everyone. These are Nazi troopers of a special group that use Mythos technology to augment themselves and augment their weapons. They use a thing called blue crystal, which they use to, they've got optics made out of it. Some of them have been infused by it, think sort of Nazi Captain America, and generally they are slightly better than your average Nazi. So these lot here are a small group. They're not expecting you to come in, so there's just a little group standing in the open. And the first thing that happens is you engage them and they scatter. They will run off and they will pick locations with cover to try and hide from you. We've got two different types of weapons that they're using at the moment. The ones at the back here, they have a couple of rifles, which though they're better at long range, they'll be hiding further away. And the ones close to the front have an assault rifle, which the Nazis invented. And they're far better in close combat. Their ranges are better when they're close, and they get special bonuses for being up close to you. So, that's all the enemies have dove for cover and are prepared because they've seen you, and now it's my go. So, let's start with Carter. Carter's nice and tough. He's got slightly more hit points than Harris over here because he's a gruff American. And down in this corner here we have his weapon. He's got a Thompson machine gun, which very good at close range, but not as good when you move out to the longer ranges. You'll get negatives to hit and negatives to your damage the further away it is. As opposed to this, Badger is actually quite good at medium range, so he generally wants to hang back a bit and try and get some shots off from relative safety. There's no point in trying to engage them too close, so I'm just going to move up to a nice bit of cover. So here, one of the things that we've added in particular is that we have light and we have facings. You can't see everywhere at once, and things are always scarier when you don't know what they are and you can't see where they are. So by moving up and hiding behind here, we are going to light up this guy. We're going to pierce the shroud and get him in the light. This gives everyone who can shoot at him plus 20% to hit, straight off the bat. The cover he's behind, or the cover these lot are behind, are minus 20%, so it balances off. If they're in cover but you've lit them up, it's like they shoot them in the open. So there's a lot in the game of moving around and supporting each other so you can get the good shots off. So he's sitting there. We'll move Badger up to a nice defensive position down here, and let's do some murders. So we have your basic fire weapon as a skill. You've got a these currently broken in this build. We'll be having a these are going to be the hit breakdown of why you've got the certain value, and this is the critical chance. One thing to notice is 35, 35, 35, 75. This guy here is right out in the open and lit up. And because we've got him lit, we've also have a 20% chance to critical him. There's some really cool stuff we're doing with critical hits, particularly with this stuff up here, which is called momentum. So first of all, let's just do some killing. Sound effects are just going in as we speak and getting in the next build. So we'll be adding in really nice, we've got some really solid, meaty gunfire from all of your weapons to be able to make it feel a lot better, and lots of like squelchy, meaty sounds when you take the hits. One thing we have done, so we have momentum up here. Momentum is used to do special stuff. So for example, every character has a sidearm with a pistol. You can shoot your pistol for a momentum point even if you run out of AP to do stuff. So there's always a chance to pull out a gun and do some shooting, regardless of whether the person's run out of their AP. So for example, I can run this guy up here, get Carter in a nice position. He's out of AP, but he can still get a pot shot off on this guy, which he missed. Well, he was hiding anyway. We'll use up the last of our AP just trying to take this guy out. I could get lucky. Nope. And one of the big choices we've made is that Overwatch isn't something you do instead of fighting. It's something you do as well as fighting. But because there's a big problem with the likes of XCOM and the other standard games that use Overwatch, where, for those who don't know, Overwatch is you cover that area. If anyone does anything, kill them. Get a free shot against them. Normally, this is handled by having your characters skip their shooting phase and just prepare to Overwatch and shoot in the enemy's turn. We've gone slightly differently. You use momentum to go into Overwatch, which means you can move around and you can do all the stuff that you want to do and get in a good position, and then you can get defensive and hold it down and make sure that the enemy's going to pay for anything they do. So in this case, we have Captain Harris here is an Overwatch, and this guy is going to try and shoot him. In fact, we're going to try and shoot his friend. We do Overwatch slightly differently. Normally it's whenever you move, but we're doing it on most actions. If you do something, you're opening yourself up to retaliation. And the point is, it is retaliation. If the enemy has you in Overwatch, and then you shoot them and kill them, they're dead and they don't get to shoot you. Also, since we're doing facing as a big thing, if you can get on the back of them, they won't see you and they won't shoot you. So Overwatch is less about I'm going to be shot and mitigating who gets shot and how they get shot. It's something you can actively avoid. So for example, he pulls out, does his shot, and the slow-mo on this is a bit extreme at the moment. It's been toned down slightly, where he is going to now pay for that shot he took. The shot missed anyway, so it's not too bad. And that's a bug. So, if you'll give me a moment, I just need to restart this, and I will be able to get us back into it momentarily. Hold on a moment. Hit bug.
Okay.
Yep. And we're back. So, that is a bug that I actually found the other day and have dealt with and sorted all of that out. It's just that we had a bit of a timing issue with Overwatch shots. So I'm going to try and avoid them for the moment. But now you know how they work. You get your shot, then the enemy gets to bounce back and try and punish you if you missed. I'll just get us back into a nice setup for all the enemies. So as you can see, you can blitz through these fairly fast if you know what you're doing. I'm just taking it nice and slow so that we can show you how all the different bits work. And I might even be able to get more lucky with the shots I was taking. Yep, down he goes. And a couple of pot shots on the close guys. We've got keyboard shortcuts all set up, so you can just hit one and then spacebar and it will shoot the last person you were targeting, which is really nice. So, enemy's turn. So we've got a nice guy sitting at the back here. He's nice and safe. Because it's a tutorial mission really early in the game, they're a bit crap. They die in a single shot. They manage to, they die in a single shot. They've got like 20% chance to hit you if you're hiding, 40% if you're in the open. So you will get punished for being stupid, but for the most part you can deal with them fairly easily. And even better is when they do hit you, it'll take them a fair few shots to take you down. So it's less of a worry for you. 15% chance, because they're fairly close. And this guy may be even better because he's closer and out of range. Yeah, these guys are at medium range, so they've only got a -5% to hit, and with a 15 damage if they manage to strike. Luckily, Carter's got 25 hit points, so it's not really a massive threat to him. Yep, a lot of fire, but means nothing to us because we're big damn heroes. So, let's push this a bit heavier. So, he's going to come out and he's going to turn and look at this guy. That means that he's going to be lit up from a really nice position, but he's only got 2 AP left. His shots take 4 to actually shoot, so there's no real... I've pushed him out a little bit far and he can't help himself. But we do have a bunch of momentum, so 80% chance to hit on a pistol shot, nice and easy, and he's going to shoot him. That's a bug because we do have a pistol animation that's gone in now where you pull out a pistol and do a really dramatic shot at someone. In this build, it's not quite there. And that was a critical hit. Normally, pistol does 10 damage. That one did 15 because it was critical hit. And most importantly, whenever you get a critical hit, you get a momentum back, so you get to do more stuff. So this means that we can bring Badger all the way up here and possibly get a shot off on each of these guys. One other thing that I haven't mentioned you can do with momentum. So this is the range of distance you can move with the cost of how far it is to move. If you move beyond this step, that is 4 AP and 1 momentum, because you can use momentum to sprint to make sure you can get into the best position. So let's shoot. I'm going to try and shoot this guy and take him out, because he's annoying me. And the same with a pistol. So lots of swings, nothing much. Now, one thing that you can do, everyone can make melee attacks. There are some characters that are specifically tuned towards it. So we've got Corporal Singh. He's an Indian chap who is very, very good at melee because he was tomb raiding and found an item which gives him weird mystical powers based on hitting people. So what we can do is everyone can move up and smack someone in the face. And he's going to do it to here, which means that he's out of the vision cone and line of sight. He's probably going to miss anyway, but he might get lucky with a backstab. No, swing and a miss, he ducked under it. This guy is more sensible and is going to take that nice 40% shot to try and take out Harris. And he's going to do it twice. Swing and a miss. Harris didn't like getting hit, and while he's not the best at melee, he's still better than these guys. So, this thing in particular, the melee doesn't do a lot of damage unless you're Sing, but he has received this debuff. This debuff, if you look down on the right hand side in the bottom corner, where I am, that way, is staggered. So this is a debuff that's been applied because he's been hit, because he's in combat and he's fighting someone and they're dodging back and forward, and this is represented by him losing half his AP next turn. So melee damage isn't sort of incredibly high. It's not like you're going to be straight up murdering everyone with melee, but it gives them a debuff that means they can do less next turn and you're a bit safer if you hit them. And I think you're just going to finish him off. Down he goes. Now, one thing I do want to do is show you how damage gets applied to players. There we go. So, Badger has been shot. But if you'll notice, Badger's hit points are still full, because down in the bottom left-hand corner, we have, down here, this stat at the top is called luck, where basically the shots that hit you, sort of you shrug off most of them, and they ping by close. They don't actually hit you, and they don't hurt. That's effectively a shield that wears down. At the end of every combat, it feels back up again, but after that's gone, every time you lose hit points, that's permanent to the end of the mission. This means that we can do stuff like we can set combat so that we know they're going to have some hit points. If you're down to 1 hit point and you walk into every combat and get knocked down, then that's going to be no fun. So instead what it is you walk into every combat with at least half your hit points. And it's up to you to sort of manage your luck and your health and work out, is it worth me sending this character forward when they've got no luck and they might start taking more permanent damage. So that wasn't very nice of him. We don't like this guy anymore. Not really like him in the first place. He's a nice piece of work. So let's shoot him with a submachine gun. So if you're here, the music has now calmed down. Because all of the enemies have been killed, we have moved back to exploration mode. We're now free to wander around, look at our handiwork, and get a more sort of calmer view of what the battlefield is and any hidden secrets that may be around. There's none in this level because this is the tutorial, and up here is our final extraction point. So all we need to do now to finish this mission is to move up onto here, and that will take us out to the end. We'll get experience points for it. We also have the possibility of getting, we get equipment on some missions. So one of the bits of the structure in it is we have main missions and side missions. Side missions are there to give you bonus experience and to give you equipment. You'll find new grenades, you'll find modifications for your weapons, and you'll be able to power up and equip your different characters as you want rather than just having them set. That's one of the big things we're trying to do, is make it so that these characters feel very characterful and like they are a person, but you still have control over their progression. I think that's all we have time for at the moment. So thank you very much for watching the stream. We have a... 1 second. So, if you want to follow us and get some more information on what's going on, there we go. Get some more information about the game and sort of the progression of it and when it's coming out. You can see us at aurochdigital.com, Twitter at Auroch Digital, and Facebook/Auroch Digital. Head over to Steam and wishlist it if you're interested in this. It really does help, and we'll get notifications as to when it comes out. We're also releasing on Switch, on PS4, and on Xbox One later on. Hitting PC first, but those are also coming out. And yeah, thank you very much for joining the stream, and we'll hopefully be doing one of these again in the near future. Thank you very much.